What it feels like to struggle with pornography or masturbation addiction. I'm Dr. Doug Weiss, and that's our topic today. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, you're going to want to. We have so much helpful information on this topic. And if you have a question, put it in the box. We get back to you as soon as possible. Well, when you're struggling with pornography and masturbation, now first, let me explain to you a couple things. Number one, I've helped over 5,000 men who've struggled with masturbation and pornography, and almost most of them get well. So I want to offer you hope at the end of this conversation. But I want to first go into the things you could be feeling. And I know, I've been clean now for over 40 years. And I still remember the pain and the struggle. So let me go through this with you. The feeling that no one's going to love you. Like you have this dirty secret, and it's so dirty that no one's ever going to love you, or you can't ever be honest about this. Now, the exact opposite is true. When you are honest about this, you get to feel loved, and you get to feel accepted, and you can move on and enjoy your life. You know, if my wife ever finds out she's not going to love me, I have thousands of examples where that's not true. Now, I think you need to use wisdom and maybe talk to a counselor or your pastor. And if you're going to tell her, do that with a third person so that she has some support. But you're going to find in most cases that you're loved and not rejected. Because most women love you and they want you to get better. They want you to heal whatever's broken because they know you're not totally functioning at your highest level. Actually, most guys who struggle with masturbation and pornography, who are business owners, entrepreneurs, salespeople, someone who controls their own income, within 12 months of stopping masturbation and pornography, they double or more than double their income. And I have thousands of examples of that. And so I have so many guys who've thanked me just from a financial perspective. And so I want to encourage you, there's more money if you get to get sober, and there's also better sex and a happier life and higher self-esteem, because you know it affects your self-esteem. My dissertation was in sex addiction and depression. Depression is a real common symptom of an active sexual addiction. Because you know you have that high, and then you have the guilt and the shame, and then you feel bad for a while, and then you feel bad that you need to go back and get the high, and you know the little roller coaster that you're on, and it's awful, and it seems like you can't stop it, because what's happened is masturbation and pornography has become a way for you to medicate or not address your emotions. And here's a significant problem as a psychologist. What I have seen, and this is verified, that there is a significant impact on spiritual, emotional, and moral development with any type of addiction. You stop developing. Now go back into your masturbation history. You started somewhere between 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. And that's where you stopped developing in some of these areas. So when you have a rough feeling, rejected, alone, confused, dissatisfied with your life, regret, shame, whatever that feeling is, you go to the fantasy world, masturbation, and pornography. And you don't get to develop and process through that. I have a great book that has helped thousands and thousands of people called Emotional Fitness. Okay, the link's in the description, and you can get that because it can help you start dealing and feeling your feelings and process your feelings so you don't need to medicate and escape all the time. Because oftentimes it's the immaturity that keeps you trapped. Secrecy is the first thing that'll keep you trapped. And I would say that you would talk to another man about this and get accountable. And if you want real help and you want to find out if you have an addiction, and not only if you have one, if you have what type of sex addiction you have, or if you're struggling with intimacy and anorexia, especially if you're avoiding physical intimacy with your wife, you know, you're too busy for her, you blame her, you withhold love, you withhold praise, you withhold sex, you're unwilling to talk about your feelings with her, you use anger and silence as a way to control, you're critical. Like if any of that sounds like you, get some of our YouTubes on intimacy and anorexia, or go to intimacyandanorexia.com. Now, the feelings of hopelessness are real. You know, most of us feel like we're pretty smart guys. I've worked with a billionaire, multimillionaires, top athletes, top scientists, top doctors in the country and world, and they're bright guys, okay? And if you're watching this, it's not that you're not a bright guy, it's just that that's not the solution for your problem. And this can get you in a trap, because when you're really smart in one area, you think you can accomplish in every area. And addictions are one thing you're not going to beat by yourself, and you're not going to beat by being smart. You beat it as a team. When you get into recovery, you get into a group, and we have many phone groups. You can call my office, 719-278-3708. We have phone groups from people literally all over the world. And there's accountability and support. There's materials. There's lots of hope for you. But that hopelessness that you feel that I'm never going to be able to get out of this is real as long as you isolate. As soon as you open up and you start moving towards recovery, that hopelessness starts diminishing significantly and confidence takes its place that you can get better. You get to hear guys who've been clean for 1, 2, 5, 10 years. And you're like, these guys aren't even as bright as I am. And how are they doing this? Well, they're doing it because they're following the 5 C's. They're in group. They're doing the things they need to do to really help them heal. Now, when you're struggling with masturbation and pornography, it's important you know what type you are. And I'm going to offer you a free book. And I mean a book, not a little 10-page book, 150, I think, pages. This is a book that we sell, okay? It's called The 6 Types of Sex Addicts. The description, the little links below here, click that. You get it downloaded for free. Because I want you to not struggle. I want you to know there is hope. And I don't make a penny off of that book. I want you to know that you can get well. I've been free for 40 years and my life has exploded. I've written almost 50 books. I've been on Oprah, Dr. Phil, Good Morning America, 2020, on and on. And I have my own TV show. Lots of things have happened for me since I've been clean. And they can happen for you. A better life, better finances, better marriage, better sex, better health even. Because this affects you in so many ways. When you have struggles with masturbation and pornography, oftentimes, especially if it moves to addiction, you isolate. You're not doing the fun things you used to do before because you're needing time to do this. You're not as productive because you're using your extra time to chase the pornography, the masturbation, find that secret window of time when no one's going to find out what you're doing. And you live constantly with this little low-grade anxiety that if I get caught, and if someone really finds out what's going on, all hell's going to break loose. And they're not going to love me. They're going to reject me. My life is going to be terrible, which leads you back into the addiction to medicate the anxiety. So your feelings of hopelessness, anxiety, concern, depression, sadness, desperation are all legit. That's what it feels like to struggle with masturbation and pornography. Now let me tell you what it feels like not to. It feels awesome. You're free. There's no shame. You're not afraid of running into anybody, even yourself in the mirror. You're not ashamed of how you spent your time, your money, or your energies. You look in your wife with a clear conscience. You have great sex because you can do eyes open, lights on, nurturing conversation. You don't have to go to the fantasy world anymore. There's a great book called Upgrade Your Sex Life that can help you get a better sex life very quickly. And so there's so much freedom when you're free from masturbation and pornography. So if you want to love yourself enough, call the number 719-278-3708. Get some help. You're not going to beat it by yourself. I'm telling you, I've counseled over 5,000 men and their marriages. I know how to help here, and you can get that help. You deserve it, but you have to just step out. Get the free book. If you want to do that first, do that. But find out that there's hope, there's healing, there's freedom. I haven't masturbated in over 40 years, and I take a polygraph to verify that. So you can be masturbation-free, porn-free your entire life. And I want that for you. So give us a call.